Hey guys, and welcome to the Working Money Channel. Short summary of the Ripple X space is about the XRP Ledger automated market makers. Okay, guys, this is from Vet here on Twitter. So we've been getting a lot of information about the AMMs, and there was a spaces yesterday evening. The XRP AMM went live on March the 22nd after 2 years of deployment integrated into the DEX to enhance public liquidity. Number two, the issue with the XRPL AMM has a fix now, and that is being tested currently to make sure nothing else is found. A fix amendment in the new Rippled version is expected soon to then be voted on the XRPL governance. Users are advised to withdraw liquidity from the AMM. So that was another notice of caution. The other day, it wasn't working properly. Users were urged to get out. AMM platforms are advised to show price impact for swaps and single-side deposits. Single-side deposits should only be considered with enough liquidity in the pool. So pay attention to the warnings on other platforms. Users are advised to educate themselves on the AMM on DevNet and read all docs before interacting. Axelar is potentially providing a new range of assets coming to the XRPL bridged from other chains. And then come to Apex XRP Ledger Community Summit in June in Amsterdam, the Netherlands. So just another community announcement there from Vet. On top of which, so we're getting a ton of FUD from this. Unleashing XRPL's potential, calling all XRPL believers. Ripple X Dev, Brad Garlinghouse. This is not FUD. It is a wake-up call as a founding member of an early XRPL project. I'm deeply concerned about recent events. Let's break it down. So Bob Rass is coming out. He created Sologenic and now is working on Corium. He says down here, before Sologenic, the XRPL DEX saw minimal usage. When we announced building on the XRPL, it put a spotlight on the XRPL's potential, and more projects realize they can actually build on the XRPL despite some of its limitations. We developed an enterprise-grade tokenization solution on the XRPL and spent 18 months pursuing regulatory approval for the broker-dealer license. Then the SEC lawsuit hit Ripple, shattering regulatory confidence in the entire XRPL ecosystem. In parallel, we proactively pivoted, developing Corium, a new blockchain with smart contracts and interoperability with other chains. This offered the missing functionalities the XRPL lacked, empowering developers to build innovative use cases. Last week, we launched a decentralized open source bridge between XRPL and Corium. This allows XRPL assets to flow to Corium and connect to IBC chains. Developers can now leverage smart tokens technology for innovative use cases, not just the XRP for Solo, but all XRPL assets. So why this is important, guys, retail users also benefit by contributing to AML pools now on Corium and other IBC chains, earning rewards. However, RippleX recently endorsing misinformation about another chain's bridge being the first to IBC. This is misleading and undermines the efforts of the entire XRPL developer community. So here's where he has a bit of beef. Let's face it, XRPL has limitations. If Ripple holds most of the XRP supply, it is in their best interest to support all innovative products building use cases for XRPL, not just those by ex-Ripple employees, like, for example, Coil with their $100 million investment, or funded partners like Axelar. Remember how the iPhone replaced outdated phones? The XRPL risks the same fate without embracing innovation. To truly care about the XRPL, Ripple needs to stop selective funding and support all developers building the future. The XRP community has waited patiently for Ripple to disrupt cross-border payments and replace SWIFT. But if that vision is a long way off, shouldn't Ripple at least support all builders, adding value to the XRPL to grow the ecosystem just like any other successful layer one? By the way, this is not an attack. It's a call to action to make XRPL the innovative ecosystem it has the potential to be. We all want the XRPL to succeed. So Bob Rass coming out and, criticizing Ripple for not helping to fund all builders in the space. I mean, I get where he's going with this. The enterprise-grade solutions, this has been Ripple's focus, the partnerships, obviously, and, helping to fund those bigger initiatives. I guess there is only so much money to go around. Nevertheless, the big Ripple partners are what is going to drive a lot of the value here. Wrath of Kahneman posting this. Okay, Ripple was recently just cited a few times in this new MasterCard report. So for those of you guys who do not already know, MasterCard and Visa are both partnered with Ripple in some way, shape, or form. So those are, two examples of huge partnerships that are really going to change the way MasterCard credit card payments are going to be conducted. So in a nutshell, the new MasterCard report reveals key trends and opportunities to digitize remittances in Latin America and the Caribbean. I'm going to give you guys some of the highlights here. Overall, remittances in Latin America have grown at a higher pace, 10% annually since 2014 compared to 4% globally. The United States and Mexico corridor, obviously still one of the single largest remittance pipelines in the world, with a 2023 volume of around $65 billion US dollars. 2023 should end up marking a turning point in which cash remittances are expected to reach their historical peak, declining in favor of digital options. So this is what we're noticing here in terms of payment trends. Wrath of Kahneman commenting here, note that there are some other Ripple payment users here listed, like RIA. They mentioned the dozens of governments consulting about central bank digital currencies. So RIA transfer here. MoneyGram was a former Ripple partner. Now they are partnered with Stellar. We do have Western Union here on the list, but also, guys, they mentioned SBI Remit, clearly connected to Ripple here, and historically one of Ripple's largest investors. So SBI Remit is using Ripple's XRP as a bridge currency to allow fast and cost-effective remittances. They mentioned Ripple, Stellar, all the big players in this space. It isn't quite clear, though, the context of the dozen governments that they are working with, but I do believe this is a global quote, not limited to the Latin America corridor. So central bank digital currency, CBDCs may help move money. Ripple is in talks with over a dozen governments for CBDC development, many of them for cross-border payments. We already know of a handful of island nations using RippleNet technology to run CBDCs on the XRP ledger, but I'm guessing there are probably others in the pipeline that we still do not know of. So it's not quite clear, as per Wrath of Kahneman here, how they're classifying, how they're characterizing these Ripple partnerships and these payments and government connections in the Latin American corridor. Nevertheless, it is interesting that MasterCard has released this memo, this report, highlighting RippleNet and Ripple's connection to the space. So wanted to thank the Wrath of Kahneman for posting that. Mike Manfield here with another one. Leatherback and Ripple partner Yesbank are teaming up for India rupee remittance. So Leatherback, a global banking service provider for individuals and businesses, has entered into a strategic partnership with Yesbank, which is a confirmed Ripple partner, a leader in India's private banking sector, to enable easier remittances and India rupee payouts in India for its users via its tech-driven platform. Leatherback stands out as the first Africa-focused financial technology company to offer INR remittance payouts, catering to the growing trends of Africans and Indians exploring business and lifestyle opportunities in both the African and Asian continents. In recent years, trade between Africa and India has grown significantly, reaching $103 billion in 2023. This makes India Africa's third largest trading partner after the European Union and China. India has also emerged as a major hub for medical tourism and is now considered among the top 6 medical value travel destinations in the world. So a lot of these countries now, where we traditionally would travel for certain purposes, have gotten really good in other areas, I guess, for tourism, and so people are, visiting these countries for said purposes, which definitely does drive more value to their economy, and thus the need for these types of cross-border payments becoming more significant. This alliance will serve as a bridge facilitating economic growth and cultural exchange, empowering communities in both India and Africa through enhanced financial access and connectivity. With this partnership, businesses, international students, medical migrants, tourists, and other Leatherback users from across the world will be able to leverage its advanced technology, financial technology services, and Yesbank's market leadership in retail, MSME, and corporate banking to seamlessly send funds to individuals and businesses in India that can be instantly collected in the local currency. So making sure those payments are available through a safe, secure service, and in this case, leveraging Yesbank, which is a Ripple partner, along with Leatherback. The CEO of Leatherback, they said, it is truly special to partner with Yesbank to connect more global payment players to emerging opportunities in India. India represents an exciting frontier for us on our mission to make it as easy as possible to move money around the world, and we are looking forward to playing our part in enabling the opportunity that abound in this market with effective payment solutions. Over the years, we have delivered best-in-class financial payments and commercial solutions that remove barriers to global growth and mobility, and we are excited to leverage these solutions to unlock more opportunities in the Indian market. So another connection here, linking up Yesbank with Leatherback, enabling more efficient cross-border payments over the XRPL. Wanted to thank Mike Manfield there for posting that. And did you guys see this? With regards to an old Ripple partner, Mojaloop, now connecting to Interledger. Several companies already use Mojaloop, including some big ones, guys, like IBM, Wells Fargo, PayPal, Caser Permanate, Modular, which is also connected to Ripple, Google AI, Stanford University, Coldwell Banker, Reality One Group, and the list goes on. In case you missed it, Interledger has integrated with Mojaloop and was part of a grant by the People's Clearinghouse, which is connected to 180 banks through Jack Henry.
So as we do this, I'll hand this over to Michael and our CTO, Alex Lakatos, who I hope, I'm dreaming, is on the video. Longtime friends, Interledger, when it was just simply a protocol, and the Gates Foundation days with Mojaloop. So this is a long connection in history. We are currently supporting Mojaloop to move from their use of V1 of Interledger Protocol to the current use of Interledger Protocol. We're also supporting Mojaloop as they look into Rafiki, which you're going to hear about in just a few minutes. And as I've already mentioned, some of our grantees sitting here in the room, ThistaWorks and People's Clearinghouse, and they're amongst a cohort of 10 other grants, research and development grants that we made last year to be looking at what are financial services that are in some way touching and using Interledger Protocol. This is a 3-phase program. First phase is R&D, so we're going to see some of the results of that R&D. Second phase, which they'll be only be able to apply to. It's not to the world, it's just to that cohort of 12 for a prototyping and piloting phase, and then a launch phase as a third round. And that's an example of the kind of grants that we'll be doing throughout the years on a number of topics.
So outlining the partnership, guys, remember they are longtime friends and partners since the Gates Foundation days. Mojaloop is connected to the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, so it is running on Ripple. ILF is supporting Mojaloop to upgrade to the latest version. They're talking a little bit about the back-end stuff here. Projects like ThistaWorks and the People's Clearinghouse working to make these integrations real. So this is a huge update, and the grant by the People's Clearinghouse, which is connecting 180 banks through Jack Henry, another big milestone for the Interledger network, and Mojaloop connected through RippleNet. So wanted to thank Mr. Mann for posting that. Now, getting to some more old school connections, guys, the latest Swift document had me laughing maniacally. This coming from Danny Dark here on Twitter. Now, guys, this is, despite all the talk that we've heard over the years since 2017, 2018 about Ripple and Swift competing against each other, and, Swift taking a stance in the early days, saying, we're still going to basically dominate the sector. And the XRP community, even having to laugh at it at that time. I feel like Swift has now conceded. If you read a lot of this, a lot of it sounds like it's coming out of Ripple's playbook. With the rise of digital currencies and assets, fragmentation of liquidity is a real concern, particularly when considering atomic settlement across different payment systems. Many digital currencies and blockchain platforms operate in silos lacking native interoperability. No, you don't say. For atomic settlement to function seamlessly across different currencies and platforms, a robust framework is needed for cross-chain transactions. The objective of this use case was to explore models which can help reduce the fragmentation of liquidity, thereby reducing the costs and risks associated with holding high levels of liquid assets across different payment systems. Developing and adopting standards for interoperability is essential when it comes to facilitating liquidity in a multi-currency, multi-platform environment. So Swift is even saying, we're not going to be able to do it alone, on top of which Smoke here pointing this out. Reminder, it's not a competition. Another quote here, kind of comical from a Swift document. Swift has evolved its platform to offer more services and work with a wider range of partners. If a client works with a network such as Ripple, Swift and banks will work with them too. So Swift even did post this. Swift has evolved in other ways as well, and now it sees itself as a platform that offers more services and works with a wider range of partners. He did point out that it isn't a competition. What's important to the bank is to solve its clients' problems regardless of which network they use. If a client works with an alternative network such as Ripple, SCB will work with them too. So they got to play nice together. That was taken from this document here that I do have linked in the description of this video. And this was actually from 2019. Another older piece here found by Smoke. Swift will not be generating its own digital asset or cryptocurrencies. This would be at odds with other cross-border payment cryptocurrencies like XRP. So even from this early document from 2017, again, I will link all the resources in the description. This is what Swift said back then. APIs are part of the technology set of capabilities that are more readily available, more readily deployable today, and more readily able to drive change in that customer-based proposition. One area Swift will not be considering is generating its own digital assets or cryptocurrency. This was at a time when I was feeling like they didn't even think cryptocurrency was needed. They do mention here, notably, Ripple, whose digital currency, XRP, is used to conduct payments over its distributed ledger network. However, that doesn't mean Swift will ignore cryptocurrency entirely when it comes to its GPI service, which, even Brad Garlinghouse said that was pretty much a failure. A Ferrari shell over an old T-model Ford engine. We're able to support them. Our network can support them, but we don't want to compete in that space with our members. And then finally here, guys, another great one from Smoke. 2021 document is from 3 years ago. But check this out. With regards to R3, in the IMF documents confirming R3 did use XRP blockchain from Check's notes, February of 2024, last month. So I guess I'm shifting gears a little bit here to the R3 debacle, that whole question of whether R3 was using XRP. And so here it is, guys, from February 2023, based on the R3 XRP blockchain. The IMF has noted it, the rise of digital money and the implications of Pacific Island countries. So we are seeing more adoption. The incumbent players like Swift have realized, they really do have to play the game. And they've come to realize this, I think. Even R3, who I do believe was in a lawsuit with Ripple, is still using XRP on their blockchain as early as February 2024. And even in a Spaces from February 2024, David Schwartz did comment on XRP for payments and its price. Listen to this.
The cost of XRP doesn't directly impact the cost of a payment. So in other words, if I want to buy something from you and the value of that thing is, let's say it's the equivalent to $1 million US. Like the amount of XRP, the price of XRP is going to determine if I'm going to pay you an XRP. The price of XRP will determine how much XRP I have to give you, but it won't make the payment any cheaper or more expensive, right? If the price of XRP is very high, I'll give you fewer XRP, but it'll cost me more to get them. And if the price is low, I'll have to give you a lot of XRP, but I paid less for each one. So there's no such thing as like cheap XRP making payments cheap or expensive XRP making payments expensive. And that's the point that I was trying to make there, that the price of XRP doesn't determine whether payments are cheap or expensive. But what does happen is, in general, the higher the sort of market cap of the asset, it's not so much the price per unit, but the market cap does impact the ability to use the asset for payments.
So it isn't the price, but David Schwartz does comment that it is the market cap, guys. And market cap is directly related to price. And maybe this is why there is an escrow and why Ripple has been controlling the escrow. At the end of the day, though, when all the XRP is in the ecosystem, the price does have to be high enough to facilitate all these payments, which would make the market cap even higher. With more liquidity, there will be more transactions for higher value payments. And this is all part of the plan, whether we look at big players like R3 or Swift, or more retail-driven providers like credit cards, MasterCard, and Visa. It's all part of the same game to make payments work seamlessly and effectively. That's just my opinion, but I want to hear what you guys think. Please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Like the video if you like the content I'm providing. I always love hearing your comments. See you in the next one, guys.